people of YouTube. So yeah, I finally got around to making a video. Been wanting to do this one for a while, and that one's a response to David Birdsalls' top 5 games that evoke an emotional response. Now, I'm not a big person into my emotions or anything like that, so these mostly things that just, whenever I think about these games, they just remind me of a certain time. So I guess that's what it is. I think that's what it really means. I've not really got many like tragedies or anything like that. It's just literally just snapshots of time that these games remind me of. And the first one, I thought I'd just do that straight away because I know I'm going to forget it, because it's not one that I've actually got. And it's one I've been looking for, but I've only seen it once, and it was from America, and it was just in just basically a disc. And that's because it was off the Amiga. And that game in question is the Golden Pyramid. Now, people probably don't know what that one is, because I don't know where I got it from. It would be from one of these like disc swapping days. But basically it's a, what's it called, like a sort of a Wheel of Fortune kind of game where you basically put your names in and everything like that, and you have to you have these words across the screen with and then you have to put the letters in to make the word, and the first one to get it right wins, obviously. Now, why that's good, why that reminds me of my past, is because every Sunday we used to go to my nana's house, who my uncle used to live with at the time, and we used to go for like a buffet meal sort of thing, and we always ended up in his den, what was called his den, and we used to play this game called the Golden Pyramid. So there was my sister, my uncle, my dad, and even my mum would even come in sometimes and actually play this with us. And then every other Sundays we'd either go to my uncle's or my nana's, and then or sometimes they'd come at ours, but would always play the Golden Pyramid. And like when we wasn't doing that, we was putting it had like a speech synthesizer in it, so you could write whatever you wanted. So you basically was there to put so it would come up with your name, it would say, "Hello Eddie, please take what would you like, a vowel," or something like that. I'll put a quick snapshot of what it actually says, because my memory is hazy and I probably should have watched the video beforehand. I'm thinking something that's like 30 years ago since I last played it. But yeah, this is what it sounds like.
Okay. Player number 1, please enter your name. Jim, is that the correct pronunciation? The category for our first puzzle is a phrase. Jim, you can get this one going. Before you can select a letter, you must spin the money bar, or you can try to solve the puzzle.
So totally cheap, totally throwaway game. Not many people probably think about it, but it just reminds me of a lot. Just sitting around and sitting with my family, really, just spending time with my family with actual video games, which it's technically it's sort of like a board game, really. But yeah, as I say, and then when we wasn't playing it, when I was at my family's and when I was at my home and friends came over, we used to abuse the hell out of that voice synthesis. We was putting all sorts of rude words in it and trying to make it work, like all kids do, and I probably would do it now if I could get a copy of it. I'd probably still be doing that now. So yeah, next game, and we're sticking with the Amiga route, and that would be. Is it Bill's Tomato Game? That's it. Now, I've mentioned this on my Amiga collection video, but yeah, this game in particular, me and my dad used to sit around and play forever. It's the only one that really encapsulated his gaming. He used to play games once every so often. It would only be Amiga games, and it would more likely to be Arkanoid or something like that. But this game in particular, when we got this home, I don't think we really stopped for about a year. Even though we'd completed it all and everything like that, we used to come back to this and play it all the time. And as I say, not many games really did that with my dad. It's not that he was anti-games or anything like that, but he just wasn't really into them. He liked technology and stuff like that, so he was really happy to have the Amiga in the house. And if it wasn't for my dad, I wouldn't have had I wouldn't have had anything. I probably wouldn't have had the love for gaming as I did, because my dad really did encourage gaming to me. However, he wasn't a gamer himself, but this game in particular was amazing. So basically, if no one knows what this game is, it's sort of like the Incredible Machine, where it's like a physics-based puzzle, and obviously you need to get Bill from point A to point B without splatting him. And I believe there was a ketchup in one of the boxes when it came with. But I don't think I've got that in here. Let's have a double check. I've not opened it for a while. No, unfortunately, no ketchup in here. And I'm sure that would have been very tasty by now. But yeah, I thought I'd open it, just double check. I'm sure I've checked it in the past. But yeah, so yeah, this is one, again, I used to play a lot with my dad and my sister as well. But mostly my dad. As I say, he was the one who really got me into gaming, because he brought an Atari 2600 into the house. And he just got me to actually play games, as I say, even though he wasn't a gamer himself. But yeah, sorry about that. Enough waffling. So yeah, let's put that up here, because the artwork of that is great. So yeah, that's the second game. And next up, right, so back in the day, I was just trying to think of the best order to put all these. I should have done this before. But yeah, I was, back in the day, there was this TV programme that was on the Sky TV, and it run Monday to Friday, and that was called Games World, if anyone remembers this. I've mentioned this a few times to people in the comments and stuff, but this is the first time I think I've talked about it in a video. But yeah, so Games World, it used to be like a video game serial. I think it was only about half an hour every day, and every day had a different type of episode. And I think on Mondays, there was one called Games World Live, where they used to come to your house, and then they used to have contestants on the phone, and they used to play the games over the phone, like to the people in the house. And I was one of them contestants. I was the one that was on the telephone, and and I always get ribbed about this a lot, because I got through the first, because it was set up in like stages, so you'd have like knockouts, so you'd have two players versus each other, like a couple of rounds of that, then it'll get into semis, and then it'll get into the final. And I got to the final, and so the first game I played, I can't remember what it actually was. It was some kind of fighter, one-on-one fighter, and I got through to that. Don't know how I did it, because I was just hitting the keyboard. Second round was, we played Boogerman, which I don't, unfortunately I don't have, or else I would have been showing that here as well. And the final was a question-based final. So basically you had to, so it was me and one other person, and it was like you had to quick fire, like answer questions. And basically the one question that I failed on was, what game is this? And that game was Shadow Dancer. And my mum was saying, in the other room, she was screaming Shadow Dancer, and I couldn't for the life of me think about it. When you're on the spot like that, especially, I was probably about 14, 15 maybe, and I was on the spot and I couldn't think of what it was, and it was because it was, if it wasn't for that, I would have won the episode, and because I didn't, I got the booby prize. And the booby prize was, at the time, all the Barbie games, which was Barbie on the NES, Game Boy, and something else. So they actually got shipped to me, and the first prize was the Donkey Kong crate, SNES crate. My mum like always ribs me about, well, unfortunately she's passed away now, but back in the day she used to always mention about this game, because I flipping forgot it. And at the time, as I say, this was one of my favourite games. Firing that dog away and getting to attack all your enemies. So yeah, unfortunately I lost, and that's the end of that. But yeah, every time I see Shadow Dancer, Boogerman, or even the Barbie games, just reminds me of that TV show, and my mum always ripping me for flipping saying this wrong. Well, not even saying it wrong, just forgetting about it. But yeah, even my mum knows video games. Only that one though. But yeah, next up, another game by association. Not quite the game that is the most memorable for me, but it's part of the Mario Kart franchise. The one in question is Mario Kart Nintendo 64. Now, this game has a lot of memories for me. They were the growing up memories, and yeah, games don't have to be totally unknown to evoke emotions. I think the ones that are the most known probably invoke the most because they're the ones that you've probably sat around with your friends and played hours and hours with, and they're the ones that everyone knows about. So the Mario Karts, the 2-player games, the Turtles and stuff like that. And again, played this a lot with my friends. We used to bring a Super Nintendo and all the games over to each other's friends. If they haven't got one, we'd bring the SNES over and we'd play Mario Kart and other games, Bomberman as well. But Nintendo 64, Mario Kart in particular, reminds me of when I went to university, because for them 3 years I was there, I used to play Nintendo 64 Mario Kart with my friends when we came home from being out pissed. And that was quite a lot. It was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday pretty much. That's what university fees were for, weren't they, obviously? But yeah, we used to come back and we used to just battle it out until basically we all passed out. So playing Nintendo 64 Mario Kart was a big memory of mine. I used to love it. And we was all pretty good at it. There was no one real winner every time, just because we'd all played it so much. We'd just take it in turns. If there was a bit more than 4 of us, we'd all, like, the loser would go off and then it would just circle around again. But yeah, such good times. Can't remember what I learnt at university, but I can remember Nintendo 64 Mario Kart. Again, I used to have it before I went to university. This is when I went to university. I was actually about 22, so I was a bit older, and Nintendo 64 had long gone by then. PlayStation 2 was probably halfway through its generation at that time. But I wasn't really a gamer when I was at university. I was more of a clubber and going out and getting pissed sort of guy. But someone, I don't know who it was, whose actual Nintendo 64 it was, because it wasn't mine, but when we went to their place afterwards, we used to play it for hours and hours and hours and hours, and such good times. It just proves you don't have to, even back then you didn't need modern consoles to have a good time. But yeah, Nintendo 64 Mario Kart, let's put it up here. I'm emulating David Birdsalls there with my games stacking up like this. So yeah, next up. So a bit of a, I know this isn't what you actually meant by games that evoke bring emotional memories, but these games in particular, these actually gave me emotion. And I don't, as I say, I've never played games and had emotional responses before, and these 2 particular games really did it for me. And the first one, I think this is the first one I actually played, and that was Walking Dead. The end of The Walking Dead in particular. Oh, what's it done with the bite balance there? God, the turned it into zombie mode. Oh man, that's cool. Yeah, so the Vita version of The Walking Dead, no manual. Oh well. I was playing this, I got told so many good things about it. I heard so many good things about it on the old internet. And when I got my Vita, this is the first game I got for it. And I played it and I was really enjoying it. And when I got to the end, without any spoilers, flipping heck, I nearly actually cried, and I was at work at the time. But yeah, such a good ending. So I'm not going to spoil that for anyone. But yeah, if you want a game that you can actually feel something, play this. Because of how good this was and how many emotions it actually brought across, I don't think any of the other ones really lived up to the same amount as this. Such a good game. So yeah, I'll put that there, and the next game, I don't think that's quite in shot, there we go. The next game, again, another one that brought emotion out for me, and this actually did it right at the start and right at the end, and that game is The Last of Us Remastered. Now I never had a PlayStation 3 at the time, so this is the first time I played it. When I got a PlayStation 4, I think this might have been in a bundle that I got with it, and flipping, such a good game. Well, I say game on the loosest terms. There is gameplay moments in it, but it is a piece of entertainment. And the start of this when he loses his daughter, oh my goodness, flipping floods of tears, nearly anyway. But then again, right at the end, again, I'm not going to spoil it for you, because I don't mind spoiling the beginning because it's right at the beginning, but right at the end, oh my goodness, again, floods of tears, and it was like, oh, I can't believe that's just ended that way. So great game, and I can't wait for the sequel. So yeah, that is my games that evoke emotion, I guess. So let me know what you think. Have you played any of these? Did these make you cry? Have you played? Well, I don't know if I just said that. Have you played them? Most importantly, if you haven't, you need to get onto these two right now. So yeah, that's the games. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a PlayStation 4 collection video straight after this. So I'll probably do the video like an intro straight after this. I'll probably wear the same clothes just in case anyone thinks I'm a bit of a scrubber. Well, I probably am, but yeah, and then I'll probably do the actual filming of it all tomorrow. So I don't know if it's going to be in 2 parts or 3 parts, and I'll probably just spread them out over a week. Let me know what you think, if that's a good idea or not. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for getting this far at least anyway. And yeah, cheers for watching.